Hi once again. Welcome to the third video of the sixth module. With an insight of the theoretical models and cognitive modalities of DCT explained to you in the first two videos, the third video elaborates the process of therapy and the possible intervention strategies at each cognitive level. At the end of this video, you will be able to acquire skill in assessing the student and identifying the blocks, acquire interviewing and counseling skills through the application of DCT, erudite the intervention strategies and appropriate selection of strategies. According to DCT, optimal mental health is a result of being able to flexibly think upon and act within one's life from all perspectives, and that the therapy correctly assesses and intervenes difficulties at all four levels. The optimal outcomes at each level is shown to you. The first, at the sensory motor level, the child can be aware of and endure internal sensations and feeling states. At the concrete level, the child will be able to explain and act on the specificity of a situation, noticing cause and effect and executing the same. At the third level of formal stage, the client will be able to analyze abstractly on self and non-concrete relationship. Whereas at the fourth stage, that's a dialectic, the client will be able to reflect on bigger and more complex systems of influence, systems within systems that give better perspectives to existence. As already mentioned, DCT offers two ways of therapeutic movement for the counselors, either horizontal or vertical directions, aiming at horizontal or vertical growth respectively. Now, what is horizontal growth? If the counselor allows the students to join at this level, work along with him to increase choices or fulfill tasks within that level, and then the direction of therapy is called horizontal direction. Now, what is vertical growth? If the counselor challenges the student by mismatching the intervention level to facilitate movement into or grow within another domain, is called the vertical direction of therapy, otherwise the vertical growth. DCT does not believe the concept that higher is better. Rather, all levels are important for effective, mature, and integrated functioning, and different levels can ideally support each other. Counselors' questioning techniques have been proven to be effective in motivating client expression apart from originally presented. Thus, therapy addressing only one level may be useful but limited. Different developmental levels need to be addressed at different times within an overall therapeutic plan, or an entire course of therapy can be focused at one level alone, limiting other levels for another time if needed. Now on to the process of assessing the developmental level of the student. The initiation of therapy process starts with assessing the child's baseline cognitive development. The base level can be identified by the counselor either through interaction interview with child or a structured assessment interview. During the interaction process, the counselor can identify the difficulty style just by the time the child speaks 50 to 100 words. Through a structured assessment, it will be possible for the counselor to identify predominantly preferred modalities and developmental blocks, and in due course help the child to examine the assumptions and promote new ways of thinking about problem situations. The structured interview is also used to both assess and intervene and is a base for designing a positive intervention plan for the child. One such assessment, standard assessment, is what we call it as Standard Cognitive Developmental Interview, abbreviated as SCDI. It has been developed by Ivy to facilitate exploration and movement through the four cognitive modalities or styles. It's a structured interview with a duration of 1 hour or more of assessment time, during which the presenting issue is explored in depth. It is designed to help in determining how well the child functions in the four styles and identify any existing developmental blocks relating to the presenting problem. The interview is specific and focused. In the case of multiple issues, successful completion of the interview depends on the counselors and the student's ability to stick to the particular issue instead of pursuing the other issues. Based on the assessment findings, interventions are designed. Customized intervention should include a match to the child's preferred cognitive orientation to establish rapport and mismatch that preference to prompt the developmental change to new directions and means of constructing meaning or second-order change. For the planning and implementation of an intervention, the DCT model provides a paradigm. The paradigm deals with assessing the 4 levels of modalities. On to the way of assessing the sensory motor modality. During the initial assessment, the student is given instructions to create an image related to the presenting problem. After the image is generated, the sequence of questions like, what is that you see, hear or feel, and where do you feel it in your body? These questions are asked to facilitate the student to understand the here and now sensory motor experiences of the presenting issue. With each questioning, a sufficient period should be given to allow the student to understand and interpret the sensation of his or her feelings. If the student can participate through this process without any difficulties, the complete functioning assessment can be done. On the other hand, if the student has difficulty in explaining the sensation, there will be a difficulty in completing the assessment due to a possible developmental block. In such circumstances, in-depth exploration of the image needs to be done to further construct the image, which may help the student sense a feeling better. The experience of the feeling may differ from one student to another. It is advisable for the counselor not to have a set standard for the level of experience. Once a student has detailed the sensation and identified it, the counselor can summarize the interviewer and move to the next modality. Moving on to the next modality of assessing the concrete thought. Once the feelings are embedded in the sensory motor modality, the questioning is moved to concrete modality. Based on the embedded feelings, the questions like, did you feel like this at any other time? Are asked to generate a second example. A careful, systematic search over the second example is done with questions like, what specifically happened at that time? Can you tell me what happened before that? What were you others doing or saying when that happened? So if you do, what can happen? The intention of these questions is only to assess how much the student can explore the problem precisely and in depth with logical and consequential thinking. The student may concretely and vividly narrate multiple events at the same time. The challenge with such a student will be to keep him or her converged on one event and can be handled by prompting the student to speculate the embodied feeling. The completion of concrete processing leads to the identification of the embodied feeling that is predominant in both examples. And now on how to assess the formal modality. A sequence of questions are framed on basis of the summary of the first 2 examples to help the student to identify similar patterns. The questions can be, can you identify similarities in both experiences? Are you in the habit of having such a feeling or behavior or thought in each situation? What do you tell yourself when this happens? What is similar or what is different in the way you react to each situation? A self-exploratory student will be able to identify the pattern smoothly, but the student who lacks the self-exploratory skill or not interested in it will have difficulty in identifying the pattern. And moving on to how to assess the dialectic or systematic modality. Counselor begins a sequence by reviewing and summarizing the previous parts of the interview. This part is a little tricky as it necessitates the students to speculate the situations from others' perspective. Creative thinking is needed on counselor's part in phrasing the questions like, did you learn this pattern from anybody? Did this pattern evolve in accordance with the current environment? Maybe that is according to the family or relationship of the client. And what is a rule that you apply while thinking or behaving or acting this way? Helping the student to identify the rule is also a difficult process. After the rule is identified, it has to be challenged with a question like, do you think whether this rule was helpful or unhelpful? To make the student quit applying the rule or deconstruct the rule. Then it is followed by questions like, understanding the consequence, do you want to alter with a more helpful rule? And would you like to work on it in this session? This will facilitate in ending of the interview and beginning of the intervention to co-construct the new rule. And now, intervention. Ivy has identified many interventions from other therapies that are appropriate for each modality. For a child who is in the sensory motor modality, the intervention techniques may be bodywork techniques like relaxation exercises, yoga and mediation, Gesalt intervention, here and now experiences, pharmacotherapy, free association in psychoanalysis, etc. can be carried out. Whereas if a child is in the concrete modality, then the reality therapy, cognitive behavior therapy, otherwise called as CBT, rational emotive behavior therapy, IEBT, problem solving and decision making skills, assertive skills training can be given. If the client is stuck with the formal modality, then the interventions can be dream analysis, logotherapy, story narration and reflection, Adlerian therapy, CBT, REBT, psychodynamics, client-centered therapy, etc. For a client in the fourth modality of dialectic and systemic thought, self-help groups, family genograms, community genograms, multicultural counseling, community action can be given. The choice of intervention depends on the findings of the assessment, and the counselor has to use micro-counseling skills for the above process. To conclude, Ivy's developmental counseling and therapy explained to you in the form of 3 videos. I hope it would have provided a valuable insight into the cognitive developmental functioning of human beings. Its intervention strategies are logically derived from other therapies and integrated following the level of the client's cognitive development. DCT provides an alternative perspective in helping the students to handle their issues through the embodiment of feelings, insight into self, and learning healthier coping patterns. Its paradigm is useful for the counselors in assessing and designing interventions for students. Hope to meet you in the next module. Thank you.